Today is October 17, 2024. Let's take a look at the recap for the live trading session today. I had two sessions today, one pre-market, unemployment numbers, and then the regular New York session. Um, Again, I'm trading the NQ today, taking a break from the ES competition there. All right, let's see what happens on the first session here. All right, so this is pre-market, right before the unemployment numbers. This is about 5:16 Pacific time, and right now I'm looking for a short. You can see there's a bunch of pivot at the top here, and then as you can see the POC on each of the bars on each of the time frame, the 1, the 5, the 15. Um, I was planning to take a short here, and there it is. I took the initial short. As you can see, the color of this bar here basically tells you that there's a lot more sellers than buyers at that location. So I entered the trade. My target would be at this particular demand zone right here. As you can see in the 5 minute, there's also a supply zone up here as well, which is good if you want to go short. I believe I also added another position right here, another contract. Yeah, so I decided to add another contract there. I saw that buyers weren't stepping in. Usually, if you see that, you'll see the POC shift on the higher time frame, and it didn't. So I decided to go ahead and take two contracts. Again, targeting this particular zone in the 1 minute here. Stop will be just above the 1 minute bar here on the distribution bar. It took a little bit of time here to before to actually fill the target here. I saw another supply zone up here that got generated, so I decided to move my stop. No, actually I left my stop there. I was about to take another short here, but never really got a chance because it buyers never pushed it back up here. I was about to take one more contract here, if it did reach this area. Okay, so this is a little bit kind of a thought because it took a while for it to hit the target there. And again, at 5:30 in about 9 minutes here, there's some big numbers coming out. So either way, I was going to get out, regardless. Maybe 5:28, 5:29. If it never reached my target here, um, I would have gotten out anyway. But yeah, that one was good. All right. So the next trade is right after the unemployment numbers. All right. So this first trade here, I decided to go short. And the reason being is that, as you can see, a big rejection candle here on the 1, the 5, the 15, and the 30, right? And the PLC all lined up at the top of the bar. So I decided to go ahead and take one stab short right there. Um, Now I got out of this position pretty quick, and you'll see why. So when I first entered the trade, you saw that the PLC on the 5, the 15, and 30 was the top of the bar, right? Now, as soon as I entered the trade, I saw that the PLC shifted down to the bottom, right? Which tells me that, hey, there might be some buyer stepping in here to support this area. I decided to get out pretty quickly. If you saw the live stream there, I was kind of commentating on whether I should just stick with this trade or get out. But eventually, I made the right decision to kill the trade here. So I still remained in the trade here on the 1 minute just because the PLC was at the top of the bar here on the 1 minute. If that PLC decided to shift down, I was going to get it pretty quickly. Okay, so now as you can see, the PLC shifted down to the low of the bar there, and I clicked on the close button to close all position, and that was the correct decision there because it eventually went all the way back up here. And then this is another trade here. So what happened was buyer stepped in, came back here, got rejected on the zone here. Um, and then I did see a distribution bar here on the 5 minute bar here, and I decided to go ahead and take a short there. Now, I decided to take another position short up here because I saw that buyers weren't stepping in here at all. It basically a lot of absorption here from the sellers, right? Because the PLC there, and then you also got distribution bar right there. I decided to take another short right there. So I left my target down here. At the time, I thought that, hey, this is not going to go any further up, and it didn't. Right? It actually hit my first target, and that's a pretty tight stop there. So you saw buyers stepping in here. I mean, sellers, right? Look at that massive win a candle here in the 1 minute, right? POC top of the bar, top of the bar. So sellers are in control here at this point. I put my first buy limit right at this particular demand zone here, and then I believe once this target was hit, I moved my target all the way down to down here on 2042. Just for a run, just to see how if it does run. It tends to run pretty quickly. So I see a accumulation bar there. I wasn't too worried about that. Okay, so I hit my first target, and then I decided to move this over here and just kind of trail my stop here. Now, you'll see that on the 1 minute bar here. So this zone right here on the 5 minute, uh, a lot of buyers were there defending that area. Um, and then I did see a supply zone up here that was created. So I decided to move my stop just um, above that zone there, just in case it comes back, retest, and then fail. But again, I left my target way down here, just in case it decides to flush down. Okay, so you see buyer stepping in here. It's going to test the zone. It's going to reject the zone. And then eventually decided a lot more buyers were stepping in here. And eventually stopped me out. Yeah, I made $10 there, by the way. If I would have just sold my two contracts down here, it would have been better. But oh well, I didn't lose anything really. Maybe just the commissions, but yeah, that's why I don't like holding on to position, just because something like this happens. You could have got your maximum value here, um, and that was a good risk to reward as well, right? That's almost a 1 to 2 risk reward. So I should have maybe just sold my second contract down here as well, but I got a little greedy and decided just to move it up here. Worst case scenario, I break even, and that's exactly what happened here on this particular trade. So that was the pre-market. So up to $100 there. Okay, so now this is the New York Open, right? 6:28, so 6:30 is Pacific time for me. So I was trying to go. I was looking for short here, and I believe in the live stream I did tell you why I was looking for short. So you'll see me drag in. So this right now is the RTH session, right? I have the 24-hour session on a different screen. So you'll see that I drag in the 24-hour session. So right here. So this is my thesis for going short on the 24-hour session here. I believe this is the 50-minute candle. I did see a distribution bar here, right? Which means there's a lot more sellers than buyers, right? So that's one indication of uh, of favoring a short there. And then I believe I also dragged in the 30-minute as well, and that also was showing bearish candle. You'll see it here coming up right here. So this is the 30-minute right here. As you can see there, it's inside a zone, right? So this is a tested supply zone. So and the reason wanted to go short was this is going to be a distribution bar, right? Where there's going to be a lot of sellers wanting to short this market here, just because the PLC here, as you can see, at top of the bar, right? And if it closes below the PLC, it's a confirmed short for me. And in addition, it's inside a zone too, right? It's a broken zone, but it's still inside a supply zone. So that's my thesis for going short. And there's only one trade here on the New York session. It will be this trade right here. Okay, so right off the bat, tested this pivot. So I waited for a little bit to see what happened the first minute or so. I did see a pivot here. It never broke this RTH session um, supply zone here. So as soon as this broke down, so it came into this 1 minute supply zone. It got rejected, came all the way back, create a POC at the bottom of the bar on the 1 minute. Now I like a retest. So on this second 1 minute bar, it came back, test this P zone right here, came back, and you see this massive wick here. This is a lot of buyers trying to push it up, positive delta, but the bar is not going with it, right? Usually when you see a lot of delta like that, which is positive, you expect this bar here to be just moving upward, but it wasn't, right? You see that there's a wick here, right? So I decided to go ahead and take a short right there. My target will be just right here on this pivot area right here, and it happens to coincide with the 23.4 retracement. There you go. I took it as a short. I moved my target down here. My stop will just be above this candle right here. Now, I think this 1 minute decided to come back and try to retest this. Okay, so let me stop here 1 second. So what happens was basically it created another zone up here for me, right? So this zone basically tells me that hey, there's a lot more sellers here. They're trying to fill their order, but it hasn't got filled yet. So if it did come back here, I was about to take another contract for a total of two here short. Stop will be above this zone here. So take a look at this 1 minute bar here. It's very bullish, right? It came back to the 1 minute. It's testing that PLC here, right? And then as you can see, it got rejected, right? As soon as it came up here, so again, it's positive delta again, right? Because anytime you see positive delta, you expect the bar to go up, but it didn't. You see a wick here, right? So as soon as it comes down, I decided to go ahead and put my stop just above my entry, and away it goes, right? It hit my target. Now, hindsight, um, I should have just trailed it, right? Because it went down a lot further than this.